Okay, now with the sub-object knowledge in mind, okay, we are ready to model our aeroplane. Okay, let's go into the standard primitive. Okay, in the create menu, standard primitive. Okay, under geometry, standard primitive, just click on the box. Okay, and we create a box that is slightly long. Okay, if you are not seeing these lines, okay, make sure you press F4. Okay, and you press 3 so that you can see the shaded mode. Okay, you can see that it's highlighted here, smooth highlights and edge faces. Right, if you press F4, you won't see the edge faces. Right, so press F4 again. Okay, now you notice that sometimes when 3D Max startup, you will have this by default. Okay, so you can actually change them. What I want you to do is to create a 3 by 3 box and make sure it's this size. Okay, if you want to make it exactly, you can actually make it like 30 by 60. Okay, I'm just typing in the numbers, and height you can put it as 15. It's slightly higher. Now this is going to be the body of the aeroplane. Right, so again, if I right click, okay, you can't see the vertices or polygon, right, because we have not converted it to the editable poly yet. So let's right click and convert to editable poly. Okay, and you can see that straight away you can see element, polygon, border, edge, vertices, and this actually corresponds to these 5 objects. Right, so you can actually right click from here, or you can go to your command, modify your command panel, and select it from here. Okay, so let's do something to this. What we're gonna do is to extrude the head, or the pilot's cockpit. So this is going to be the cockpit. So we select a face or polygon, in this case polygon, select it, and how you can manipulate is to add extra faces. Right, you can do that by going into the edit polygon menu, which is at the bottom. Okay, and you can see several objects here. We are going to use extrude, bevel, and insert and outline, okay, most of the time. So these 4 are quite important. So let's do an extrude first. Okay, we click on extrude. You can actually click and drag, okay, the extrusion. Now how far you go, it depends on how long you move your mouse up or down. And then once you're done, you let go of your mouse and you right click it to end the process. So now you can see it like a cockpit. Okay, we're going to also do another example. Okay, let's see, I undo this and I choose bevel instead. Okay, you actually save time, okay, by allowing you to extrude, and then once you let go, okay, you can actually see that it is beveling it. It's making it smaller at the end, and then you can right click, okay, and let go. Okay, so that is bevel. Okay, unless you just need a straight extrusion, okay, you can click extrude. If not, you can click bevel. And then what you can do now, because it's still selecting the face, I just press R, okay, for scaling, and then just scale it downwards, and straight away press W to move the whole thing down, right, to make a cockpit looking front. Okay, now the interesting part is when you select more than one object. Okay, I press Ctrl, select more than one polygon. Okay, you can see that I'm still selecting polygons, right, polygon mode. Okay, now I want to bevel. Now if I bevel while selecting more than one polygon, you can actually bevel all of them at once. So it's quite fast, efficient. So if I let go now, it becomes, okay, the wing that I want. And then I straight away press W so that I can move both of them back, okay, and become the wing. Right, so it's very fast now. Okay, it take some time to do this. And if you think that the back is actually very fat, what you can do is you select the faces at the back, 1, 2, 3, and then you can scale them down pressing R, okay, so that it becomes more of like a engine, okay, exhaust area, right? So I'm purposely making this airplane be fat because I want it to be very for kids, right? So this is the three faces together. Okay, so now I want to extrude this face out, so I'll select a bevel. This will become my my fin, the tail. So you can see that if sometimes you can cross the vertices. Okay, that is not good, so we'll just leave this as it is first, and we'll go into the vertex mode. Select control, okay, and you can control just these two, okay, so that they are manipulated manually like this. Okay, so I personally like to adjust vertices on its own. Okay, so you have more control when you have like for example, if you want this to be closer to each other, you can just press R and close them up, right? Same thing if you want these two to be closer, you can actually just scale them down, okay, to make the very nice interesting shape. Okay, now we're ready to actually go into the other modify. Okay, let's go to polygon. Okay, I'm going to do a exhaust, okay, to the back. So I need that, maybe mine is a dual exhaust, so I select both and I select outline. Okay, what outline will do is you click on this and then you outline. Okay, you actually make it bigger or smaller. Okay, if you want to make a hole inside, you can actually just press insert. Okay, and you actually create another set of faces inside. Okay, depending on how far you move them, okay, you can actually go into this very ugly reverse mode, okay, which is not what we want. We just want to insert it like this, and then I press R because I want to shape it out to make a square. And then because I'm still selecting it, I'm going to do an extrusion inside, right? So I'll click on extrude and I push it in, okay, to make a hole. Okay, so that will be my exhaust. And what I need to do is also the air intake. Click on this, do the same thing, do an insert slightly, and then click on extrude and push it in just by moving the mouse up and down. And yeah, I'm about done. Okay, what I can do is to, okay, let's say we are finished at this point. Okay, but what I want you to do is to add in extra things like maybe missiles over here. Okay, I'm going to show you later how to do that. Okay, but you can add in maybe like a the landing pod. Okay, I want you to be very creative with that. Okay, so before I show you all that, okay, I want you to notice that my aeroplane was actually quite smooth. It's not very boxy like this. So what I need to do is to add in a modifier from here. Okay, make sure that you're not selecting the polygon first. Just select the whole object. Then you add a modifier, okay, from the modifier list, and you select this modifier called turbo smooth. Okay, and this will allow you to actually divide your faces into four. Okay, every faces will have four, right? So if I click on 0, you can see that this one face here, okay, if I click on one iteration, it will divide this face into four, right? So if I go into the editable poly mode, okay, and I click on show end result, okay, you can see that once I click on this one face, it is actually selecting the four faces, right? So if I click on maybe this front part here, it's one face, okay, but because I have a turbo smooth, I'm actually selecting four, Right, so every iteration means you divide it by 4. Okay, let's go back to the turbo smooth. You can see I'm still selecting the 4 polygons. Okay, so what I need to do now is to change it to 3. Okay, that's because I want it to be even smoother. Okay, so I change. Let's say I change to 2. It means that every face will be divided by 4, and every other face will also be divided by 4. So if you actually press on 2, it means that every one face will be divided by 4 to the power of 2. So that will mean 16 face for every face. So that will make your scene larger. Okay, sometimes if your computer is not good enough, it becomes slower. So you have to be careful when pressing this. Okay, on high resolution object. Okay, for now it's okay. Okay, so if I press F4 to hide the lines, you can see that the aeroplane is almost there. Okay, so what I want you to do is to add in things yourself. Okay, how you want to edit, you can actually add in by adding in other primitives, or you can actually modify the polygon. Okay, let's turn off the turbo smooth for now just by clicking on the torchlight or the light bulb here. Okay, click off, so you can model this easier. Okay, I'm just selecting, okay, I'm just selecting my objects here. I don't want this. Okay, so I want to add some missile here. So what I can do is I can extrude these faces a little bit to create an extra face. Okay, I'm doing this to both sides, you can see. Then I click the front and back. Okay, the front and back for this too. And then I extrude one more time to create like a missile. Right, so this is useful, okay, for creating add-ons. Okay, let me select both again and press R so that I can make it smaller. Okay, you can see that the other side is also corresponding. So let's say I'm selecting these 4 faces now. Okay, let me select the 4 faces. Okay, without the back, just press W first or Q. Okay, so that it's easier for me to select everything. Okay, make sure you press Ctrl when selecting more than one object. Okay, what I'm going to do now is to extrude. Okay, but this time around I'm going to extrude and select the option, okay, or the settings. So I click on the settings, and you can see if I extrude by group, okay, it's not working as what I want. So I extrude by polygon, and you can see that, okay, because I'm extruding from one whole face, okay, and now it divides itself into every single face. Okay, so by polygon is what you want in this case. Okay, and then I click OK. Okay, and then what I can do is press R and make them smaller. Okay. Yeah, and okay, we are almost done. Right, so from here on I want you to be more creative. Okay, you need to, okay, notice that this plane is also different than the one I showed you in the beginning. So you can actually add in your own things. You can maybe have 2 cockpit, you can make an alien spaceship, you can make the landing pad below. Okay, you can make 2 wings, 3 wings, okay, up to you, 4 wings. Maybe you want to make a Star Wars X-Wing. Okay, you can try that, okay, for this lesson.